Welcome back, rescuers, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Laffian talks to a new companion, Rhal has a good night's sleep, Squash has had enough, and Zaltanna wrecks the shadows. Arriving just at the right time to save Lisbeth and Dachin's bubble, the group finally get a good night's rest after an eventful day, and spend the evening telling tales of their exploits to the newest member of the team. Will Rhal's health improve now Ama is here? What secrets can Lisbeth unlock? And how many more rescue plans exist for Dachin? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die.
You'll have a long rest. As you've long rested, as is tradition, you have leveled up. Squash.
Yes.
As you wake up, you hear a voice in the back of your head.
Oh.
World's fucked. Thousands dead. Wickle. Don't die until tell you, Don. We still have work to do. From Damaz. You can respond with 25 words or less.
Motherfucker, 25 seconds, 25 words, I say.
Yeah.
I love you. You have to say 3 words for I love you.
Yep.
I have an idea. Need to research. I'll contact you when I can.
I love you.
Best regards, Squash. I'm wasting my 3 words.
Boo. Let me check that to 20. I have an idea. Need to research. I will contact you when I can. Best regards, Squash. You still have 8 words.
I have no words left.
I love you.
Tell your sister I love you? No.
I don't think Squash has anything more to say.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I will send Thirsty that message then.
God, this is a behind-the-scenes thing. I'm not really happy about. Me and Thirsty are not allowed to talk together at all. It has to be through sending.
Okay, that is the response that you send. I have an idea, need to research. I will contact you when I can. Best regards, Squash. Fuck me. All right. That's your response.
Baba booey.
Is anybody keeping an eye at all on Dachin?
Yeah. We had shifts. We were taking watches.
Rhal was asleep as fuck.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Emma said because she had been sleeping for, I don't know, about like a year. I remember. I do remember from last session. I think Amos said that she was going to be keeping watch the whole time.
Yeah, she said that she'd take watch so that y'all could sleep and rest because she literally only really just came back to life. She's not suffering any of those horrible exhaustion effects from being resurrected. This is a wholly unique way of doing this.
The god of death brought you back.
Yeah, the god of death says you're alive. You are alive. Okay. After you finished your 4-hour meditation, Laffian.
Hello.
Hi. He looks over at you.
Who?
And he's sort of Dachin.
Oh.
And he's studying you pretty intensely. And then he says,
So, what's your plans now then, Your Highness?
I don't see why I should divulge that to you.
Well, I'm stuck in a bubble. Absolutely nothing I can do from in here. See?
and you see him like flicker a wrist. You see a small like bolt of fire just go out in your direction. It just harmlessly dissipates on the inside of the bubble.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like someone to play tic-tac-toe with you?
No, I much prefer chess. Far more intellectual game, you know. A game of the long strategist.
And he smiles.
Oh, yes, I'm quite sure. It's a game I'm very fond of as well.
Well, if you have pieces...
No.
How boring. So I heard from your little spat with your friend that destroying my lovely runes is part of the plan going forward.
Just give him a blank stare.
I'm stuck in this bubble. I could offer you some help, you know. Scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Continuing to blank stare.
Well, this is no fun at all.
And he kind of like leans back in the bubble. Like he does that thing where he puts his like feet up a little bit on the edge of the bubble.
Tell you what, gesture of good faith. If you destroy my rune incorrectly, you're going to die.
Still just a blank face. Just...
He kind of leans back a bit harder, looks up at the ceiling, and begins to hum and sing a very loud, obnoxious dwarven drinking song. Which, if anyone hasn't already woken up at this time in the morning, you're going to be awoken by a half elf singing the most bawdy dwarven drinking song. You kind of pick up Dachin is very bored and agitated.
Good, he can stay that way.
Okay.
He didn't want to play tic-tac-toe, though, V. I didn't make that many chess.
Do you want to play tic-tac-toe
I didn't
with
make that
Dachin,
many
Rhal?
chess pieces, V. I made 3.
That's why you got to play chess.
That's why
Rhal's
I kind of
fault.
paused. I was like, what? Because I do have a chess piece.
Some, yeah.
You have 3.
One.
Oh, was it 3 you gave me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd kept the other 2.
No. Why do I
Okay,
keep
you're going to
them?
have to give me the details on those 3
I don't
chess pieces again then,
understand.
because I only have...
One of them looks like Rhal in kind of the form of the knight, the horse piece. Zaltanna's looks like the bishop, the
What was the third
priesty
one?
one. And yours was the king.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they all had the bottomed out spot for stamps.
Yeah. Okay, then.
Moving on.
Moving on, then. You aren't going to take the bait? He's very bored.
No, fuck him. I love David, but fuck Dachin.
It's morning. You're still stuck underground. The 4 of you awake. Lisbeth is looking much refreshed, much happier. Her wounds have healed over. Ama is still kind of like cuddling Rhal as he wakes up. And she's like looking down, smiling at him.
Rhal's like hugging and he's shaking. He's trying to keep from... He's trying to keep himself together enough.
Yeah. I'm not making you roll today because of obvious reasons. Yeah. Yesterday was hard, but yesterday I think may have been a win in the Rhal category. Yeah. All right. Morning dawns. What do you want to do?
Telepathically to Lisbeth. So where to from here? We kind of need to get back to Falsam, but there's also the runes.
Oh, I have an idea on the runes. I can. There are people who know about them already, and there are things moving, and where I need, I'll take you to help with. I'm going to take you to the people who will help you, and they'll help with Dachin too. And everything seems to keep centering around Falsam. So I think everything's going to be fine. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay then. Out loud. Everyone's good? Head count, roll call, everyone's here? Did anybody die last night?
I did.
Oh, well then. We'll hold a service in your honor. Good luck getting the rest of your followers while deceased.
Thanks. A traditional Zaltannan wedding includes you have to punch the priest in the face.
Never mind. I was going to say I could reside over your.
I meant funeral,
okay.
but yes, that also.
Yeah.
Always punch the
Either
priest.
occasion.
You
is
said
fine.
wedding.
That's I definitely did. You're right.
Either equation, punch the priest. Okay. Lisbeth stands and like brushes herself off, picks up her kind of the staff, leans very heavily on it.
Rhal
You
helps
look- she's-
Emma up.
Emma helps Rhal up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two of you kind of like get off the ground. Lisbeth leans very heavily on her staff. She's still a little bit worse for wear from yesterday. Much better than when you found her unconscious, but still a little worse for wear. She smiles at all of you and she says,
Okay. All right. To Opella we go.
and with that, you feel a tug behind the back of your navel.
Whee!
You go through the stalking. Surprisingly, none of your spectres are there. It's empty in the stalking. You've seen this maybe a couple of times if those of you have been gone through, but not recently. More recently, your deaths have been way more interested in you. But that's not the case right now. You find yourselves on solid ground outside of a tent. This tent is large. It's covered in blood, mud, grass stains. You can see that it has been ripped in portions, then very hastily kind of repaired. All around you, there are people marching, there are people working, fixing tents, or they're on patrol, or they're helping to rebuild. Behind you, as you look around, you see Falsam. You can see that stones are being moved by strong soldiers, other farmhands. Anyone who is capable of building a wall is helping them to build a wall around Falsam. The tent city that had kind of begun to spring up around Falsam is much smaller than it was. You don't know why, but there it is. The 6 of you. Within the tent, you can hear a lot of people talking. Occasionally, it's cut across by a commanding female voice. You also recognise Damaz's voice in there. This is where you'll find yourselves when you teleport onto solid ground. What do you want to do? Oh, I probably should also make it clear. Standing outside this tent is one very tall human. They have very short cropped hair wearing full plates. They stand at 6'6", and they are carrying an axe, and on their hip they have a short sword.
Are we like in the middle of the tent city?
Kind of. You're like, from a very quick look around, you are definitely standing outside the biggest tent. Yeah, like a lot of the tents at the edge have been folded or packed down, and they are moving off in various directions. Yeah, you're kind of right in the middle of it, give or take.
Did Dacian come with us?
Yep, she's brought the Dacian bubble with.
Oh, God. Okay, all right. Well, that changes things.
Well, she can't leave the Dacian bubble there. We'll get popped next time the runes appear.
We're in the open.
Yeah. A bird gets an aneurysm and crashes into the bubble and the fucking world's end.
No, I won't be that much of a dick.
So there's a person, this human in front of us is essentially like guarding the tent?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, and we hear that there are people, including Damaz, inside the tent.
Yeah, like Damaz's voice is very unique compared to everyone else's because he has the half-orc kind of like bassy, grumbly voice.
Okay.
Yeah, his is easy to pick out.
Is this like a big-ass command tent type thing?
Yeah, you would definitely recognize this as some sort of command tent for sure.
Okay. Pardon us. We need to get inside. We're very important people. This is kind of very important. We need to protect it.
You see the person standing and they cross their arms and stared down at you. You're not 6'6", are you?
I'm 6'2".
Okay, yeah, then they stand above you and look down upon you.
Is there a problem?
Who are you?
Prince Laffian. This is Zaltanna, Rhal.
Prince of what?
The Elven Kingdom.
You see them like raise an eyebrow.
I can hear
My
Damaz in
memory.
there. He knows us. We're all working together. Can I speak to your manager, please?
I'd like to speak to your manager.
I am the manager.
I believe if you're a prince, your father, the king, is the manager, correct?
Would you like to go get him currently all the way in Belligbud?
If you wouldn't mind going there, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Damaz! Damaz!
Rhal goes into Tio and makes Tio sneak past the tent.
After you yell for Damaz, being that you can hear him, he's clearly going to be able to hear you. You hear a heavy tread, and you see Damaz's face poking out. And he looks at the guard. They're with me. All of them. Yeah, all of them.
Including the bubble.
Damaz gives you like a sideways glance, looks at the bubble, raises an eyebrow,
Right.
shakes his head, and just walks back into the tent.
What? No, wait, Damaz. No, this one's kind of... Can we get like a proper armed guard around that one?
If our Empress says, then we'll arrange it.
Well, anyways, then we go in.
The bubble rolls in after you. Without an armoured guard, but the bubble rolls in after you. Okay. Within this tent, you see a young elf. He is wearing the robes of the cleric of Ilmata. There is a female halfling. She's clearly a warrior. And she's sitting on Damaz's right hand. You notice Trempearl. Why wouldn't they be here right now? And you see Rondi, who's sitting kind of a little bit propped up so that they can maintain eye contact with everyone. You see Opella. Opella is sitting at the head of the table. She has short cropped hair that's dark brown. She has big brown eyes and a very thin pursed lips. Her nose is quite angular, but it's very obvious it has been broken a few times. She has a stud in her nose and she has an eyebrow piercing. On her head is a very, very simple iron band. It's a very simple crown. She is wearing leather armor that has been... This is not show armor. This is clearly battle armor. And on her side, she carries a sword, and leaning against her chair is a longsword. This woman has the attention of everyone in this room, and she surveys all of you with very keen eyes. It feels like she has figured you out in 2 or 3 steps. She's quite perceptive. And you are?
We're the ones who've been trying to stop the apocalypse. I'm Prince Laffian. This is Zaltanna Thunderheart. Rhal, my friend Squash here. This here is Lisbeth, close ally of ours. This here is Ama, Rhal's mate. And this here, Big Bubble here, is...
Daichin.
Yes.
She nods in his direction. Yeah, I'll recognise you.
Oh, flattery. Easy to be recognised these days.
Be quiet.
Thank you. I like you already.
Roll him out the back. I don't want him anywhere near. Don't need to hear this.
Please be careful with the bubble. It is incredibly fragile. My Highness?
Do what the little one says. And you see a couple of the guards, the big tall one that was outside, roll their eyes heavily as they begin to roll this bubble out the back, and Daichin's like bouncing around inside, beginning to sing his Brody drinking song once again, which has turned rather more suitable for a brothel, as he's kind of rolled to the back. Well, I guess some of you better sit down then.
Is there like a table, I guess, we're all situated at here?
Yeah, there's a table. A couple of chairs are brought forth. You'll find yourselves in, it's like a good company, but in company enough. Ama doesn't sit, and she just stands behind Rhal, like her hands on his shoulders.
I'm not sitting. I'm going to do the tough guy lean against the wall.
The tent.
I want to thank you.
You want to thank me?
I want to thank you on behalf of all the lesbians for making Opella.
You're welcome. Appreciate all the work you've done for bringing Daichin here.
We needed to make sure that one of the biggest pieces on the board was removed. So,
good job.
Thank you.
Now, what's this hero about? You bringing a great hero back?
I guess you weren't fully briefed on it, but yes, essentially from the get-go, we were tasked with attempting to bring back a ancient hero who supposedly is supposed to be able to help us stop all of these things going on.
Do you know who he's in?
I'm sorry?
This great hero.
Mm-hmm.
Broken up into 6 pieces, 7 pieces, I guess.
Right.
Rhal is making such awkward eye contact with Ama because I just don't think he remembers like half of anything they talked about the night before with his exhaustion and everything. He just has no clue. And he's just feeling so awkward right now. They haven't had the chance to talk about this.
Ama seems like none of this is a massive surprise to her, I guess. She may be a year out of date, but this isn't like a huge
we
surprise.
debriefed her last night. We told her like...
Yeah, Rhal just doesn't... Yeah. He's just
in Draconic, she kind of like whispers at him, is like, it's okay. They told me everything yesterday. I think I understand what is going on.
He nods slightly, still feeling kind of awkward.
I'm more imagining that she just had a really good idea of the political things, and it's now like a year later, and she's like, yeah, this roughly went how I expected.
Oh my goodness.
This was so much worse. She didn't expect the apocalypse.
She better not steal a stamp, V. I'll be mad.
You will just have to stop her.
I will have to stop her, yes.
I want to get an aura read on Opella and see what her current disposition towards all this is before I divulge anything.
Okay, yeah, make the roll and then try and more specify what this means.
25 insight. Like the whole hero thing and the fact that she's asking who is the hero in. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure that like she's on the up and up before I start being like, yeah, here's all the info.
She's very cautious. She doesn't know exactly what to expect of this, and you kind of get this quote-unquote hero from when she mentioned it. Like, she doesn't know if she trusts what she's hearing. She is very cautious.
But not in a, like, aggressive manner, just I need to know what's going on. She's very much in the, I really wish people just tell me what the fuck was going on attitude about her, but she understands that's not necessarily how the game is played. Okay. Then in that case, we have all of the pieces more or less. We just need to complete the ritual, I guess. I'm not entirely sure if it would be a ritual or just... Well, you get the picture.
So you know who he's in?
Laffian just puts a hand up and waves, like slight wave.
All right, then. I guess we make sure that you don't die between then and then.
I'd appreciate it. I've done a good job of it so far. I'd like to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for returning Daichin. We will make sure he's under guard. If I can get any of my people to make another one of those webs, another 30 days for that, unfortunately. How fragile is this fragile bubble?
Maybe one sword swing away.
All right. Well,
there may be another one we can get.
Another one?
Another web of creation?
Where?
There are people new to Falsam who have one in their possession, we suspect. We didn't approach them about it just yet because we wanted to be on the cautious side and we didn't want to scare them off or anything. They could be helpful with everything going on.
Understandable. But if there was any other more dire need, other than saving the world, I think it's making sure that one down there doesn't mess any more in our affairs.
I agree.
She kind of like looks up at one of her armored companions. They lean down and she whispers something quietly in their ear, and they scoot off. A lot of people have been sent a lot of places. There's not enough food here. I don't know who decided that we'll just get some druids to try and make more food, but that's not enough for the amount of people here. We sent people off. We'll see if we can hunt them down.
Just be kind about it.
We'll politely ask.
Express our great need. Diplomacy before brute strength.
Why don't you make boats and fish? It's not that far from the ocean.
It's not. There's a bunch of people who have been sent down to the coast. A few people have been sent out to the forest. No one more than a day and a bit ride. Most people are within 3/4 of a day's ride, sort of thing. We don't want them too far in case things go down. But we need them far enough away that foraging for food, we won't be competing for resources.
What did you mean earlier when you said returning Dajin to you?
I met him a while back, and I thought I had him imprisoned. Clearly, I was wrong. I didn't know what he was then. People around this table have informed me what he is now, and you see Damaz nod. Well, thank you all for your help. And she kind of gives you the look of like, you're dismissed.
Telepathically to Elizabeth real quick, he's going to be like, are these the ones that are supposed to be dealing with the runes that we need to be working with, or?
She nods.
My apologies. Before we depart, I have an understanding that there is a matter of some of Dachin's runes that need dealing with as well.
We have that under control, for the most part, I think. The master of the lodge here, Damaz, and 2 of his companions are going to be dealing with one up north, up in your territory. And she looks at Laffian. I'm having a squad of my trusted fighters go down and deal one with a place called Empty Shallows. Is that correct? And she looks over at Damaz, who, again, like, way my sister says it, yeah.
Laughing gives a side eye to Squash.
Squash is looking at the ground at this point. Not happy about this turn of event.
How many more do you know of?
Damaz looks at you. Looks at Apella, who nods at him, and he says, got information that there's one up your neck of the woods. There's one on Oghath, but Grumsh has that under control. One down in Empty Shallows. They suspect there's 2 more on Kino, but we can't do anything about that. Not until we hear from Rowena.
Understood. Well then, I think we have our part that we need to be working on while you work on yours.
Well, if that's it, Your Highness. Empress. Fine. He stands up. I'm going to be doing the one up north. See you guys around. He looks at Squash, gives him a nod, and leaves.
Best of luck.
Good luck, Damas.
That god's not dead yet.
You see 2 people approach Damaz as he leaves. You see a small bard, joyful-looking thing, covered in kind of oversized, sparkly clothing, and they have long hair one side, short hair the other. They look pretty happy, pretty cheerful. You also see a tall human figure wearing a dark green cloak, heavy dark armor, and they walk with Damaz, speaking very quietly to one another, and they make their way out of the camp.
The King of Gondor has returned. What?
Just so you know, Dajin spawns a shadow too.
Ah.
We got lucky last time. Lisbeth was there. He almost got out last time.
We didn't know that. Squash, is it?
Yeah. Squash backs up when she actually says his name and looks at him straight in the eyes.
we'll be careful. Our plan of sticking him in a hole in the ground clearly not working now. Great. Fuck. Rondi looks over at her and he says, some of Savras's army would be happy to go to Empty Shallows with your friends. Give them the backup that they need. Just in case. Nobody knows what these runes are or what they look like exactly. And she nods. We would appreciate your help, Master Rondi. I guess I better take my leave then. And he kind of like climbs off his chair and smiles at each of you as he walks. Bit of a grim determination, and he makes his way out of the tent also.
I think Squash grabs his sleeve when he's about to leave.
Yeah.
And just real quiet, just like the people there aren't bad. They're just in the wrong. They're not evil people.
Rondi puts his hand on like your shoulder, and he says, because you two, I guess, about the same height, and he says, we'll treat them as best as we can. I can't promise more than that.
I know.
He smiles and then he leaves. Well, I guess you lot should probably either go or pitch in. What do you want to do?
I think it's about time that we bring about this great hero. We also need to get word to somebody who has the final piece.
Right. Any way in which I can help with that, or you got it under control?
We should have everything under control. I will give you the heads up now so there's no confusion later. If you see a dragon flying over Falsam, don't panic unless there's suddenly a lot of fire or acid. I have to say both because you kept switching it on me.
Well, they can do both. They're what the fuck they want. It's dragon. They should be breathing fire. I don't quite the colour they are. She says, we got reports. There were dragons flying around again. A friend of yours?
Rhal is looking so at the ground so much.
Not so much a friend, sort of more a reluctant ally. I believe they will help out when the time comes, but...
We're hoping.
You can trust Ruanra to be on the side of making sure the world doesn't end. Not necessarily on your side. Your Empress, I guess. And Opella just kind of like gives her a look. And there's a thing that passes between them, and Opella nods again and looks at the rest of you. Well, we've got things to make safe here, town to rebuild, army to get settled. I will allow you to stay, Your Highness, even though this isn't your territory anymore. You're all under the law of the Dawn.
Looking at the ground. Still just...
Thank you for that.
Still awkward.
By your leave, then, we must be on our way.
You have my permission.
Rhal takes that cue, absolutely, and grabs Emma's hand and is gone. we
Emma does the
talk.
polite thing and curtsy/bows to Opella.
Lafayette will give her like that, like a slight bow, the like, I consider you as kind of an equal thing, not the like, I'm bowing like fucking groveling at your feet type thing.
She gives you a look.
That's fine.
As y'all are leaving, she says, Your Bloodiness, could I have a word?
Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
She indicates for you to basically sit back down. She waits until everyone leaves.
There was definitely like a stutter step when she said like, your bloodiness, can I have a word? Like a stutter step for Squash, and then Squash just kept going like, oh, thank God.
Oh God, it wasn't me.
No, you're not nearly bloody enough. No.
No.
Also, bold assumption that Zaltanna is going to ever sit down in the presence of this woman. I need to assert
That's
my
fine.
dominance.
That's
Standing
fine.
forever.
Zaltanna never sits down now. That's totally fine. She looks at Zaltanna and she says, your bloodiness, I'm sorry, this is the first time I've ever spoken to a deity or a god of any type. I apologize if I offend. It's not my intent.
It's really had to offend me, so go ahead.
Outside, chortles of laughter. No, I'm joking.
I killed Arch.
She says, I heard what you said in Chatvok. A lot of people there are now with you, your bloodiness. As much as I wish I could, it's not my path. I don't believe in all this. To say I don't believe in all the god stuff to an actual god is a little bizarre, but I hope you understand what I mean. I don't put my faith in things I can't hold or attack myself.
Well, you're in luck. Here I am.
You can attack her right now. She's right there.
Zaltanna raises an eyebrow.
I'm not wishing to offend. It's just not a lot of gods have done a lot of things for me. However.
Okay.
No, she nods like you were going to speak. She bows to you, man, like you're a god. She is an empress.
Yes. Okay. No, I get that because before I joined, before I found Tyr, I didn't feel like gods were doing anything for me either. But like I said in Chatvok, my entire thing is I just want to kind of take all of everyone's rage and anger and do something with it.
Good. There are a few people in my army that we've... As you would expect, a lot of people are pissed off and angry right now.
Good. They should be.
Agreed. But that doesn't necessarily make for the best soldiers. And I need calm soldiers. I'm going to have to ask them to do a shit ton of stuff they don't want to do. Because of the greater good. I will always put myself on the front line with them. I will never ask anyone to do anything I'm not going to do myself. I also know that faith and religion are very important right now to a lot of people. There are some people here, and she kind of smiles, already wearing the black and red. If you want to talk to them, and if they want to follow you separately, I won't stop them. I won't make sure they stay in the dawn. They'll be free to act on your behalf. I mean, you're a god. I'm not going to gainsay your will, but I really need them. And I need them to be calm. I mean, pissed off and angry in a fight. I always want people pissed off and angry in a fight, but otherwise I need them calm. I need them to follow orders. I'm just asking that you please don't incite too much. And she has that kind of like leaning back, knowing she's maybe stepped on your toes a little bit, but she's trying to be as respectful as possible.
I'm at a loss because this is a very strange situation I've been put in.
You're welcome.
Be mad. But not,
My God,
not
do
right
I...
now, though. Right now, there's bricks that need to be put down over there.
Yeah.
My God,
And,
do I want Opella to be one of my followers?
You can definitely work on it.
That is a goal now. Well, I'm not going to tell your troops to not be mad, but you can be productively angry. I don't think that's the whole thing, is using your anger in a productive manner, using the rage of revenge in a productive manner.
She looks like she's thinking very intently on your words. She's plotting.
Pissed off for survival is what one of my key phrases. It's going to be on all my temples. The usual.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to ask your... I guess I just wanted to ask for your help a little.
I'm a little unclear on what you want from me, Apella. I notice she doesn't say Your Highness.
Power move. Power move.
Ballsy move.
I'm not sure what you're looking for from me. I mean, do you want me to go and talk to your troops and tell them to use their anger productively? Or are you trying to get me to do propaganda for you? I'm very confused about what is happening right now.
I would never dare presume to ask your bloodiness to do propaganda for me. No, it was more, please don't incite them into a fury. Sorry. I need them calm. You made a lot of people full of passion in Chatvok, and I need people who aren't quite like that right now. That was basically it.
I will do my best to make sure that your people are not going crazy.
I appreciate that, your bloodiness. I have a few things I need to attend to, and I guess that you need to continue about your task of getting the hero back together.
Yep.
If there is anything you need, though, your bloodiness, just ask. I might not be able to do everything you ask, but...
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She smiles, stands. She kind of gives you like a bit of a low bow. And then you see her like pick up her weapons and like click her fingers in a very like demanding manner. And you see attendants like rushing over towards her, and the two other people who were also at the table, they kind of like rush over to her as they all begin to like make their way out of the tent. All right. What are y'all doing now?
To the temple.
Rhal has exited the tent very quickly. Wasn't wasting any fucking time. I think he's trying to get to a point where he can have like a more a better conversation than he had before, that he had kind of exhausted at the end of Hell Day. So
yeah. Hell Day. I appreciate that as a name for the whole day I put you guys through.
I got the shit beat out of me by a tree.
You did. You got beaten up by a tree. Stop it, Hem. Stop it.
I'm Groot.
Yeah, you and Ama can definitely like have some quiet talking time as you're making your way towards the temple. Are you all waiting for Zaltanna? Are you all just walking in that direction?
No, wait outside the tent.
I think Squash splits off real quick. Just like, I've something I want to try out. I'll be right back. It's not dangerous. It should just be real quick.
All right. If we're not here, just meet us at the temple.
I'll just see you at the temple. I'm assuming that Apella doesn't have a lot to say to her bloodiness.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
That's not a lot of things.
Squash with a bit of sass heads off. Okay, let's do Ama and Rhal then. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, Rhal rushes off and kind kind of hastily tries to find a quiet place.
As you're walking through, as you're heading towards like the temple area, you're heading towards Falsam, you see that Falsam has been put to work. There are soldiers here that weren't here before, and they are all helping to rebuild walls, structures. You can see that many bedrolls and such like have been moved into the more protected buildings, the ones that have been sort of shored up. You see a lot of younger children that wouldn't be able to lift some of these heavy stones or begin the rebuilding process. They're working with blacksmiths, with bakers, they're working with leather workers. They seem to have been put to work as some sort of apprentices, whether the master wanted them or not. Everyone here is doing something productive in a much more organised, regimental way compared to how it was before. Apella seems to have gotten people moving, and there are a lot less people in the kind of city outside. It would be very easy for you to find somewhere that's kind of off the beaten track a little bit, somewhere that's kind of quiet-ish.
Yeah.
Like outside.
I think that what happens is like he's got her hand and he's kind of pulling her along, like, come on, let's talk. And he's kind of in oh fuck mode. Things are so crazy. There's so much going on. There's so much I have to fill you in on. And then as they're getting through the town, and he realizes, their house is destroyed, and things are probably so different, and this is so weird. He kind of just like stops and pulls her aside because he's getting kind of a little bit bloody.
As your nose begins to bleed a little bit, she kind of puts her she kind of grabs the corner of your hoodie and just like takes some of the acid blood away from that area. And she's like, "Well, what is wrong?"
Okay, we can talk here. There's so much to fill you in on.
Your friends, the prince and the goddess and the drug guy, they filled me in on a lot. I don't know if they told me everything, but they filled me in on a lot.
Whatever you need to know. I don't even... I didn't know. I didn't know, Emma.
What didn't you know about?
Purpose and all of that. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't know until like halfway through all this. By then, Rhal was already here. You don't have to help.
I want to help. And you're going to keep helping them, aren't you? I mean, if you don't want to help them anymore, I understand it. But if we don't help, what if they really need us? What if there is something that we know that they don't? What if there is something that you can do that we can?
They need you. They don't need me. Not anymore.
Well, your friends told me that you could go into the stalking and come back again. They told me that you could turn into a very scary...
It's not that great of a thing when you really think about it, you know?
Yes, it is, Rhal. Think about it. Think about all the things that you have learned because you've gone to the stalking and they have not.
What are you
Think about how you can help them.
Help them?
Rhal, she kind of like takes both your hands in hers and she holds them very tightly.
We have to deal with Ruanra. We have to find Ruanra.
We have to find Ruanra. It's just so we can get you cured.
What?
And if you don't want to help them, that's fine.
Rhal starts bleeding again.
She kind of like does the thing where she kind of like lifts the corner of your hoodie up and like wipes the stuff. Like this is a move that she's done for quite often since she gave you the hoodie.
Oh, no, not the name. Come on.
If we cured you,
no.
You can keep doing what you want and we get to live a life together. I've told you I don't want to do this life without you, okay? I already had a year of it in Bellum.
Emma, it's not smart.
When have I ever done anything that smart? I mean, you're in my life.
Exactly now. You need to be careful. Emma, it's not even about me.
Then what is this about?
They already hate me enough, Emma. If Wurunwa dies because of me, you think that's going to help that situation? You think if we ever need to call on help, we'll be able to? If Wurunwa is dead because of me? They already hate me, Emma. We don't need to give them more reason. It's just not smart. We can't. No. Stop. What do you want to do? Let's focus on right now, okay? What do you want to do?
I don't want you to die.
I am not dead.
Not yet.
Emma.
I don't want you to die, Rhal. You don't deserve any of this.
Neither did you.
I didn't exactly put myself in a good position not to be murdered by the cult of the Bloody-Hearted, did I? I didn't exactly speak to you about it. And I thought the Bogrim was a better person. I was wrong. I want to help your friends. I want to stop this blissful eclipse so we even get a chance at curing you. How about we save the world so we have a chance to live our lives, however long that will be?
Emma, I've seen my hourglass. There's not much sand in it at all. I had an acid attack while standing yesterday. I think that's
told me about
3,
that.
4.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
Bogrim.
Fuck Bogrim, what do you want to do?
He had acid. Rhal's just bleeding as he's like starting to think about all that.
She just holds the hoodie up to your nose at this point. Rhal,
He was going
look me
to
in the
make
eyes
it
and
look
tell me
like I
what...
had an acid attack, but joke's on him. I can fucking survive those too, apparently.
Stop it. Stop it. Answer me. What do you want to do?
Help you.
If you're telling me you won't be cured, you won't accept that help, then what do you want to do?
I need to get Caden back. I'm still going to lose my memories. I'm sorry. I still have to do that.
Caden was your friend,
I
right?
can... you know that bad scar on my back, and, you know.
Yes,
belly.
I remember you getting that.
Well, you remember finding out about it, but you did not know I got it.
Yes.
I got that when I was saving for our house, and I wasn't supposed to be fighting. Bogrim was out of town.
Fuck Bogrim.
And Caden, I didn't know him, but he saved me. And then, I saw him every now and then, you know, but he worked at the prison.
He was the one that was kind to you.
I would not have made it to the prison if not for him.
Okay. Then we get Caden back.
I made him a promise that I would look out for his daughter. And the best way I know how to do that is to make sure that he's here, because I can't fucking do it.
I don't think we'd be very good parents. I'd be constantly bouncing fireballs down my arm.
I might be able to
Okay.
give something else, though.
How about what we do is we do this a little thing at a time, okay? If you really don't want to be cured, I won't force you, but I don't want that. But I want to keep helping, and I'm going to do that. I would just be a little smarter at it.
We can't kill Ruben, Emma.
Okay. Then we will find another way. I will talk to people, I will look into things. There must be other ways of curing you out there.
We have...
And I will find it.
Our home is gone. Our old house, but there's probably places down there in the bunker I can show you. We are going there now.
She kind of like puts her hands like either side of your face And she says, 4 walls are not where my home is. It's here. And she puts her hand, over your heart. Okay? We will figure all this out later. But we should go do the thing now. We should go put the Shade Slayer back together. Are you sure that we can trust this Shade Slayer?
Rhal kind of smiles and shakes his head no, but in that playful way.
Okay, now you get a sense of humor.
He's nice.
Rhal.
He's nice. He's helped me.
Okay, that is good enough for me. Okay, let's go. Hey, Rhal.
What?
I've missed you.
I'm so glad you're here. I would have given anything for this. And he hugs her and presses the top of his head against the top of her head, and they do cute little nuzzles.
Yes, nuzzles. And that's where we leave them.
So, if you think that this podcast has interesting things to say, then you know what to do. 5-star reviews all round. Oh, and don't forget to mention me. I may be stuck self-isolating in this little bubble, but there will come a time. And if you don't, I will destroy you.
Hey, Archie, listened to any good podcasts lately?
I gave Rusty Quill Gaming a try.
Oh, yeah? How'd you like it?
For something that's off, not actually D&D, with it being Pathfinder, it's actually really good. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, but damn.
I'm actually kind of surprised because I know you're pretty loyal to D&D. So what's it about?
From what I've been hearing, it's an alternate version of London and kind of a fantasy world beyond. And I think the campaign that they were going through is called Erasing the Line.
Is it weekly, monthly, bi-weekly?
So it's a weekly actual play podcast, mixed ability group of people consisting of comedians, improvisers, gamers, and I believe writers.
Okay, well, definitely have to check it out.
I mean, from what I saw, apparently the show is an award-winning podcast, and there's over 250 episodes, so...
Oh, no way, I didn't know that.
People listen to us, and we do a whole bunch of tabletop fantasy role-playing stuff, so it's not that far of a jump to listen to something that's doing Pathfinder.
People should definitely check it out, then. If they like us, they'll probably like this, right?
I would certainly think so.